Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gaming with me, Tony Mo, and we're here today to talk quite a bit about movement and mobility inside of Lawbreakers. We're going to go over the basics, and we're also going to go over some of the more advanced concepts when it comes to moving around in the low-G environments of Lawbreakers, as well as the standard gravity environments of Lawbreakers. Now let's start with the extreme basics, and let me also point out the fact that I do have my key bindings actually shown up on screen, so you can see my WASD, you can see my abilities and whatnot. You can see my shift, my actual activation of my mobility ability in the case of the Enforcer, jump, we've got our kick, and then we've got, more importantly, our blind fire. We're going to be talking a lot about blind fire, the jump. Those are the two things you're really going to focus on, as well as what direction I'm pushing when I'm making my way through low gravity. So Lawbreakers is a bit deceptive in that you're going to jump into low gravity for the very first time, or maybe you've already been in low gravity for a couple hours, and you're going to wonder how you're moving anywhere. Like, how am I getting here? You might already understand that you can propel yourself with blind fire, but maybe you're still just like, what? How do I go down? How do I go up? It's actually really as simple as this. There's no helicopter movement inside of Lawbreakers, meaning that holding spacebar doesn't necessarily make you ascend. It allows you to jump, which propels you into low G, but you'll eventually come back down. You can't descend by holding crouch or something like that. You simply hold W and look the direction you want to go. Look at that. I'm swimming through low G, guys. Hey, Mr. Blitzball, look at me. I'm swimming through low G. It's as simple as that, man. It's insane, right? You'd think there's so much more going on. But if you want to move through low G at standard speeds, you simply push W and look the direction you want to go. It's really as simple as that. You don't even need to jump. I mean, jumping is just a way to manipulate your momentum and increase it. But for the most part, you just look where you want to go when you swim there. Now, you have to be very careful when and where you're actually entering and exiting low G zones. You'll notice that the map actually tops out, and you can hear the sound effect, and then we drop back into low G. The best way to recognize when you are not in low G is to look at the end of your HUD. So if you look around the edges of your screen, you'll see the distortion field, and of course you actually hear the audio cue each and every time you enter or exit low G. So that's just something to keep in mind, so you always know where you are and whether or not you're going to be able to make use of this low G navigation. Now, this is the very standard way of moving around in low G. This is the best way to just get up, maybe, so you can start to engage a target. We can also hold back, you can tell. We can actually move, you know, sideways and forwards and whatever direction we want to go, while also aiming our weapon. It's just something you have to get comfortable with. You're not going to be able to do, like, full-on, just flat strafing for the most part. I mean, you can to some extent. You can kind of see me doing it here. But once you jump one time, you can't get that jump back until you actually land on the ground. So now that I've jumped, that's it. So the only thing I can really do at this point to keep my altitude is to push up again with W and, reinitiate. I'm not going to be able to jump again. So that's it. Now I'm just going to start falling down. It's a little bit finicky, but once you get comfortable with it, you'll at least be able to push yourself in and out of engagements with a little bit more precision. You'll feel a little bit less like you're just butterfingers all over your keyboard and your mouse. And that'll mean you can actually engage targets, make quick escapes if you need to, reset your position, maybe use a quick jump to get in there. And then you'll just start throwing blind fires in all over the place to get even more momentum and more speed. Blind firing is a great mechanic. I love what they've done with it, and this wouldn't be the game it is if we didn't have the ability to manipulate our momentum through blind fire. Of course, it's awesome if you eventually kill somebody who happens to be behind you, but more importantly, it's going to let us run the objective more quickly. It's going to let us get from point A to point B extremely fast. It means that there's very little downtime in this game. You're constantly making pushes with your team, or even solo, to take the objective, to kill someone, whatever the case may be. Now, I could show you that with the Enforcer, but let's actually switch over to a character that pretty much needs to use blind fire to get from point A to point B. The Titan is the one class in the game that doesn't have a direct mobility mechanic. Pressing shift with the Titan simply smashes into the ground, causes a little bit of chaos, maybe squishes a few squishies, which is all beautiful and wonderful. I'm not denying that, but it's not going to help you get from point A to point B very quickly. So blind firing your rocket launcher is integral to rapid navigation with the Titan. So let's go ahead and blast our way up here. We got 2 rockets off. Okay, now we're engaging targets. We'll go ahead and get a reload. That is really something that you have to consider when you blind fire with anyone, is how many rounds you're going to use to get to where you need to be a little bit more quickly. Setting yourself up so you can use the blind fire to increase your speed and momentum, but making sure you can reload before you get to the engagement is going to be a very important decision that you're going to have to make on a situation-to-situation basis. In this case, I just fired the last 3 rockets. I went over here, got a reload. Now let's say that I'm a Titan. You may not think that I should be running the Blitzball in this case. we're making an objective push. But let's say we've got a Juggernaut at base. We've already got somebody playing defense, and there was just a big fight here. I came in late out of spawn. I'm alive, and there's only one other member of my team alive. That guy has like 20 HP. We just wiped the entire enemy team, and I'm the only person left to grab the blitz ball. Let's just do it. Why the hell not, right? I'm going to go ahead and take this route. I like this route quite a bit. We'll bounce our way down in here. Not the most effective strategy, but we made our way in there, and we were able to cap the point. The ability to blind fire, to repel yourself with low G, means that every class can carry the ball. Every class can run the objective if they need to. You may not always pick that class to be your primary ball runner, your primary objective guy, because they could be tanking damage somewhere else. I completely understand that. But in a clutch situation, having 500 HP or, more than that, if you're running the Juggernaut, and being able to make your way into a point with blind fire is super useful, dude. There's simply no denying how useful that actually is. And if you can make your way in with a couple bunny hops, bada boom, bada bing, go ahead and clean up the match and win for your team. Sick, tight, and clutch plays. You can't ask for more than that. So blind fire is very important. I just really want to stress that to anyone and everyone who plays this game. A combination of blind fire, the standard movement, and the manipulation of your character's mobility mechanics, if they happen to have one, are all going to make up how you navigate and make your way through low G in Lawbreakers. Now, we can get a little bit more advanced. Let's talk about bunny hopping. I showcased that a little bit with the Titan, and this is still probably my favorite class to test it with. Some of the other classes like the Wraith have their slide ability, and they can go wicked fast when it comes to bunny hopping, but when you take a character like the Titan that isn't very quick, you want to do everything you can to make them as fast as possible. So let's go ahead, and rather than grabbing the blitz ball, we're going to kind of make our way up into the air here. We'll fire off one rocket. I'm going to try and get myself in good positioning. I'm going to blast my way down in here. And as soon as I touch the ground, I'm going to jump, and jump, and jump, and jump. It's all about timing your jump. And you'll notice in order to make that turn, I'm doing a combination of things. So I'm actually holding W and A because I want to strafe left while I'm doing it, and I'm also pointing my mouse. So I'm going to time all three of these things. And you can do it on flat ground if you just want to get comfortable with it and try and build up that timing. You basically just want to get that timing down and then execute it as you come out of low G. And that's the importance of knowing where these zones start and, finish. So that way you can time it just right so you've got the momentum from blasting through low G, and then as soon as you hit the ground, you initiate that jump, you go into that bunny hop. Every character can do this. Every character will benefit from it. It's all about getting the timing right, and again, understanding when you need to hit that jump as you exit low G. So let's grab the blitz ball this time, and we'll go ahead and run it one more time. And see how quick we can get this, or if we can just completely fudge this up. So as soon as I jump, boom, right there. Just so quick, I'll show you what it looks like if we don't do it. In case you don't believe me, in case you don't think it's real butter, we'll go ahead and we'll do the same thing, but this time we'll just hit the ground. So good momentum, good speed. That's it. That's it. Even one hop is going to take you further than what I just did. You do not want to just blast yourself into the ground and then start walking. All of the classes, once again, will benefit from this. It's going to take a little bit of time to get used to, but it's just going to be one of those go-to mechanics for, blasting your way into the blitzball net. It's going to be one of those go-to mechanics for making your way to a healing station. Let's say I'm low on HP and I'm like, damn, I gotta run from these guys. Go ahead, get a couple shots off. Hop our way right into the healing station. Maybe throw down a slow. Guy comes around the corner, kick him in the face, rocket to the kneecap, and he's no longer a warrior like you. There's a lot of interesting things that go on with the low gravity in Lawbreakers, and the moment you actually spend like 15 minutes in a custom match like I'm doing right here to just better understand them, that's the moment you become like 5 times a better player than you were. Don't be one of those people running the blitz ball like this, guys. You're taking the fun out of the game. I'm not even concerned about you not helping our team win. That's okay. I get your skill level, but trust me, it's a hell of a lot more fun when you're doing this. And again, there's always the chance to kill someone behind you with the blind fire, and then you can be the ultimate badass. I haven't gotten one of those yet. If you've gotten one of those, just send me a clip on Twitter because I'd love to see it. I saw Active Bunny Foo-Foos. I want to see more of them. Now, there is one last thing that we do need to talk about, and that is these gravity orbs. These gravity orbs, they're tricky, man. They look cool. They got some really neat design, and if you go ahead and jump on one of these, it'll make you spin round and round until you're so dizzy you throw up your lunch from 3 weeks ago. They're great that way. Unfortunately, they can also be your enemy. It's all about bad timing. Yeah, you can see how that worked out really well. Now, that works in the same way if I was actually still building a lot of momentum going around that gravity orb. Exiting those orbs at just the right time, if you decide to latch onto one of them, is very important. Let's go ahead and switch over to the Enforcer class. and I'll go ahead and show you guys how you can quickly change direction with these. Now, every class is going to have to deal with these a little bit differently. In the case of the Enforcer, we're going to use our distortion field to actually break free of the gravity field of that orb. So let's go ahead and bop our way over here. We'll go ahead and blind fire a little bit. Let's say I actually want to get lashed onto the orb. All of a sudden, my team's running up mid with the blitz ball, and I'm like, whoa, I need to go defend them. I'm going to go forward and gravity at the same time, break the distortion field, and make my way back over here safely. Let's do it one more time. This time, we'll just fly right through it. We can just blind fire, snag a little bit of the orb, and keep on blind firing our way through. It just acts as a sort of extra low gravity or anti-gravity pocket, and you just have to be careful with how you manipulate yourself around it. You know, some people just like to hang around these all day long. You know, take a couple shots, okay, going back the other way. You know, maybe get yourself really airborne like we did there to get, you know, that height advantage. You're playing the gunslinger. You want to get up high and start taking shots at people in the base. They are really useful, and I think they're going to become a big part of the game long term. Right now, you see people running them, but for the most part, everybody's like cutting up the middle. I mean, that's the game right now, is like everyone's just going up mid. A few better players are like, oh yeah, I can use those orbs and I can make my way around the side of the map like this and no one can even see me. I'll just sneak my way over here and then, you know, make my way in and wreck the team before we cap the point. So get comfortable with those things. You know, get a better understanding for how to enter and exit them, and they can be really great for just traversing the environment with a little bit more momentum. You know, get you in the air a little bit higher than you might have been able to otherwise. That's going to do it for me, guys. If you have any other questions, any other thoughts you'd like to share with me, feel free to throw them down in the comments section below. My friend, Mr. Blitzball and I, we're going to go practice some bunny hopping. I hope you'll do the same. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember to play smart, remember to play to challenge yourself, and most importantly, remember to play for fun.
Your team scored. Ball spawning.